Hi all, we're on chapter 13 of Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, and chapter 13 is called How Wonkavite Was Invented. I haven't been out of this bed in 20 years and I'm not getting out now for anybody, said Grandma Josephine firmly. Nor me, said Grandma Georgina. You were out of it just now, every one of you, said Mr. Wonka. That was floating, said Grandpa George. We couldn't help it. We never put our feet on the floor, said Grandma Josephine. Try it, said Mr. Wonka. You might surprise yourself. Go on, Josie, said Grandpa Joe. Give it a try. I did. It was easy. We're perfectly comfortable where we are, thank you very much, said Grandma Josephine. Mr. Wonka sighed and shook his head very slowly and very sadly. Oh, well, he said, so that's that. He laid his head on one side and gazed thoughtfully at the three old people in bed, and Charlie, watching him closely, saw those bright little eyes of his beginning to spark and twinkle once again. Ha ha, thought Charlie, what's coming now? I suppose, said Mr. Wonka, placing the tip of one finger on the point of his nose and pressing gently, I suppose because this is a very special case, I suppose I could spare you just a tiny little bit of, He stopped and shook his head. A tiny little bit of what? Said Grandma Josephine sharply. No, said Mr. Wonka, it's pointless. You seem to have decided to stay in bed whatever happens, and anyway, the stuff is much too precious to waste. I'm sorry I mentioned it. He started to walk away. Hey, shouted Grandma Georgina, you can't begin something and not go on with it. What is too precious to waste? There's Mr. Wonka with his Oompa Loompas, having a good think. Mr. Wonka stopped. Slowly he turned around. He looked long and hard at the three old people in the bed. They looked back at him, waiting. He kept silent a little longer, allowing their curiosity to grow. The Oompa Loompas stood absolutely still behind him, watching. What is this thing you're talking about? Said Grandma Georgina. Get on with it, for heaven's sake, said Grandma Josephine. Very well, Mr. Wonka said at last. I'll tell you. And listen carefully, because this could change your whole lives. It could even change you. I don't want to be changed, shouted Grandma Georgina. May I go on, madam? Thank you.